Let's talk about mindfulness and the importance of meditation and its effects upon training. So, if you're struggling to improve as an athlete, if you're struggling to improve your technique, if your training is not going particularly well, you might find that meditation and mindfulness is one of the things that might be missing. So why do I say this? By being mindful, you're present in the moment. You're fully connected to the task at hand. And that is exactly what you need and what will benefit you during a training session. Because training, as important as it is, it gets repetitive and it gets boring. You're very likely doing the same things over and over again. In Olympic weightlifting, for example, there's not much deviation from the snatch, the clean and jerk, pulls, deadlifts, and squats. Those are more or less the basic elements, the basic exercises we perform during training. So, how will mindfulness and how will meditation impact your training? To improve your technique, you must be fully present in the moment, especially when you're lifting. But I think it's important to be able to do this throughout your whole training session. You have to be connected to the task at hand 100%. You have to feel your way through each movement, each snatch, each clean and jerk. You have to feel the technique. Sure, you can film it, you can film your technique, you can film your lifts and you can watch them. And you can correct yourself by watching them as if you're watching someone else. But it's incredibly difficult, and I would say that feeling your technique and being able to understand what you're doing as you're doing it is much, much more important than being a spectator to your own lifts. This ability to be mindful and to feel your technique is incredibly important. And it might seem like a minute detail, but it's the sum of these minute details that really make up a high performance athlete. It's the attention that you pay to these small things that really does make the difference. How can you hope to even improve your technique in the slightest? If you're not present, if you're not aware of what you're doing as you're doing it, you have to be fully focused in the moment. So, let's say you want to improve your technique in the snatch. First of all, you have to be fully aware of what you're about to do as you're getting ready to lift. You have to visualize the movement. You have to visualize what you're about to do. You have to visualize the perfect technique. What you have to do is you have to concentrate on what you're about to do. And as you get ready to lift, you must go through every stage of the lift in your head, and you must imagine yourself performing these stages, these small details, these small little niches of the lift to utmost perfection. Then as you lift, you have to feel what you're doing. You don't have to be too aware of this, because otherwise it will throw you off. But to a certain extent, to a certain degree, you must feel what you're doing. You must know what mistakes you make as you're lifting, and you must know what you've done well. And that's very important too. You have to know what you are doing well already, because that is your starting point. That is your foundation. The things that you're already doing well, they're important too. You have to know, this is my strong point. I have to polish this, but I have to really work on my weak points. And in order to do that, you have to be connected to what you're doing. This awareness, of course, as you're lifting, it all stems from mindfulness and from meditation. And without this small little detail that maybe seems unimportant, you cannot fully grasp the technique of anything really. Anything that requires learning requires you to be present fully in the moment, physically as well as mentally. And therefore, the role of meditation in sport and in training is incredibly important. Remember, a lot is a little every day, so keep working.